Okay, thanks, Rachel. We're right in the middle of practice at this point, so sorry I'm a little bit late getting down here. But we had another successful weekend. I thought we played a terrific match against Utah on Friday night, and we're pretty good in the first match against Bradley as well. Got a chance to play quite a few people, and I thought we were just a little bit flat in our last match against Milwaukee, but I'll give Milwaukee a lot of credit. They rose to the occasion and really challenged us. But we're sitting here at 6-0, and I don't know how many people felt like we would be in this position, but it's a good thing, and we've got some good wins that are going to, I think, impact our RPI down the stretch. And now our biggest challenge of the non-conference will be on Friday when we go to Louisville. And I had a chance to watch them. I've seen them a little bit already on tape, but watched their match live yesterday when they lost to Ohio State. Ohio State was 0-3 despite being a top 7 or 8 ranked team in the country, and they played really, really well against Louisville and beat them. But they beat us last year. Louisville did, I think 3-0 in a match at Xavier, and so going to their place will be, as I said, a real challenge for us. But we'll be as ready as we can be. So that's all I got right now.
Dave, how do you approach this week where it's unlike the other weekends you've had so far where you don't know your next opponent after Friday?
Well, the good thing is we're just going to play 2 matches. And I think this past weekend, Sam, will be the last time we'll ever play 2 matches in one day because the NCAA has changed our calendar from 28 dates to 32 dates so that teams don't have to play twice in a day. And we didn't have to play, but that's just the way we like to schedule, is try to get at least 10 non-conference matches in, and to do that you've got to play a couple on the same day. So the good thing is we'll be playing Louisville on Friday, and we won't be playing anybody else that day, and then Saturday we'll play in the evening. But it's kind of like an NCAA tournament from that standpoint. You always know who your first match will be in the sub-regional, but you're not sure who that next match will be. So I think that it'll be good. Clearly, Louisville is the best team there, so we'll have all week to do our best to prepare for them. And then if we win, we're going to play the winner of Lipscomb and Xavier. If we would lose, we would play the loser of that. So, but we'll be prepared. We'll have a game plan for either one of those teams ready to go when we get there.
You mentioned a few times already that blocking is a strong point of this team. How has that kind of carried you in some of these, tight situations where maybe that's where you have an edge on some teams?
Well, I think it's significant because I think the block is such a momentum activity. I mean, if you can, Raven had a huge block in the match against Milwaukee down the stretch, and I thought that was huge. It helps you game plan for people, knowing that if you get your people and your players in the right spot, there's a good chance they're going to block balls. And so that puts a little pressure on the coaching staff to make sure we understand who we're playing and what their tendencies are. And but I think we can get a lot better with our block. We had a film session this morning, and I'm really encouraged by where we are. I mean, Hannah Clayton, we didn't know we were getting that kind of a offensive player, to be honest with you. I mean, she's hitting over 400 right now, and looks like she can continue to do that. Just so many good things, and all these guys are really playing their first matches. I mean, Meg Renner started 6 matches in her career. Skimmerhorn's played libero 6 matches in her career, and on down the line. And to think that we're sitting here in a pretty good position is very encouraging to me at this point in time. But I go back to your blocking question, is I think that we'll continue to improve in there. Our right side blocking can get better. Our left side blocking, that was one of the things I identified after watching tape, was our pin blocking has to be better. And when you play a team like Louisville, who's got some real hammers on the outside, that's going to be something we're going to need to do really well. And if we do, it gives us a chance to win.
Obviously, Raven played a lot as a freshman and had a great year. How has she improved, and with the international experience she gained? Now she knows I've got to step up and be even better as a sophomore.
She's just such an intense competitor, Sam, and she wants to win. She wants to be the best at whatever she is doing. And so she's going to continue to improve throughout her career. You know, she's been blessed with incredible athletic ability, a great jump, a really good arm, terrific speed. What she has to continue to improve on is hitting behind the setter. And that's something we're working on every day with her is the 1 foot takeoff going behind. It's not been her thing. She's been a 2 foot star going off, 2 feet in front of the setter. She's really, really good, but people start to load up on her. If you can only go off 2 feet in front of the setter, you're going to see 4 hands in front of you a lot. And so now we've been working, and like in today's practice, she was really good going off 1 foot. And I hope she still is as I'm talking to you guys right now. But she has to improve in that area. I think just her demeanor, she brings this air of confidence to our team, which she didn't have as much of last year. But that's important with a new group to have somebody that really knows what's going on and is going to hold other people accountable.
Hey, Coach, can you
Hi.
kind of talk about Eva Hudson and kind of what you've seen from her so far this season and how much she's contributed to this team?
Yeah, I thought she was really unheralded coming in. I don't know why people didn't see what I think that our staff has seen when we were recruiting her. I mean, we knew we hit the jackpot when we got her because she's a do-everything kind of a player. And if you've watched, I don't think she may have left the floor when I put the wrong lineup in on Saturday, but that's about the only time I think that she's not been on the floor because she's such a glue type of a person on this team. She's kind of a Robbie Hummel, if anybody remembers Robbie still around here. But she can do everything. She makes other people better on the floor. I think she's probably playing at a higher level than even I anticipated at this point. She got comfortable really, really quickly in our program, but yet she's got more she can do. I asked her this morning how many times have you gone in to hit a 2-ball, which is kind of a medium to low set in the middle that she did all the time in club, and that's kind of how she made her money in club was she hitting that 2-ball, and we haven't even ran it yet. She's been living and dying on the outside on a high outside set, but she is magical with her ability to tool the block, to hit drive shots, wipe off shots, see where the block is. Very few college women in the sport of volleyball see the block very well. Well, she just naturally sees the block. So that's a real advantage that she has. She's big and physical enough to block balls. Her defensive play needs to improve. That's the one area I think that will get better when she gets better defensively. But every other part of her game is as much as you could ever dream for a freshman to come in here.
And then earlier this season, kind of during the scrimmages, you talked about how you were still figuring out what group kind of plays the best together, and that's
Right.
something you want to get out of that. Obviously,
Yeah.
6 games in, do you think you've kind of found that group and that lineup, or are you still kind of figuring things out and trying to find that perfect lineup?
We're in a pretty good place, I think, with it. We still have real good competition for the spots. The lineup that we have started most of the time has Emma Ellis on the outside looking in, and she's not thrilled with that, as she should not be. But she gives us somebody that's good coming off the bench because she normally brings some enthusiasm and fire when she comes into a match, so she's a good person to have in that position. The 2 middles that we have played so well that, Lourdes, who's our 3rd middle, who is making great progress, is going to have to really continue to make progress to be able to match up with those guys because I would guess that Raven and Hannah have 2 of the best hitting percentages in the league. I haven't looked at that very closely. So the setting position, Meg has made a lot of progress in the last 10 days and has kind of secured that in the fact that she's 6'1", and Grace is about 5'7". It gives her a real advantage in our league to have somebody with that kind of size blocking up there. But we can still run 2 setters if we want to. The backcourt is pretty solid. We've been trying to rotate both Eva Torrance and Emily Brown in one of those defensive spots to keep both of them feeling good about what they're doing. But I think that we're in a pretty good spot right now moving forward.
Dave, you mentioned last week you thought that Skimmerhorn had a chance to be the best libero you've had here. Why? What does she do really well?
Well, how many digs a game does she have, Rachel? I guess it's right in front of me. At this point in time, she's digging 4.6 digs a set. And I don't know where that ranks, but it's second in the Big Ten. Who's ahead of her? Minnesota? Okay. She's a really great athlete. And, sometimes, you want a great athlete in that position, but sometimes you just take a good athlete that's tough and skilled. But she has everything. She hits every box. And, again, she's played 6 matches as a libero in her entire life. She was an outside hitter in club and high school. Here she's never played the libero position. She's played DS for, 3 years. And now she's been waiting for this opportunity, and she's just, taking full advantage of it. But she's got great speed. She anticipates well. She can play balls, with the forearms, or she can use her hands really, really well. She's become our leader on the team and on the floor. So she's everything that you'd want right now. And I think you'll see her continue to get better because she's going to get a lot more experience in that position.
You touched on this a little bit before, but with Chin and Cook and Ellis, you've been the last couple of years rotating those 3. Would you prefer to see somebody take charge there, or are you content playing the hot hand?
Both.
Position?
Both. It would be great for somebody. Those girls are basically 3 players looking for 2 spots, and I would love to see somebody take complete control of those positions and hit 300 every time they step on the floor. That would be really nice. But on the other hand, it's okay that we figure out who's going to be good on a particular night, and I think they have enough experience that they'll be ready to take that on. But no, we have to have 2 of those 3 playing very well for us, or all 3. It'd be nice to have all 3 of them. Just really develop into steady, consistent performers on the floor. But we're not looking at the numbers. We're not there yet.
Coach, excuse me.
Yeah.
You mentioned looking at film from this weekend. Is there anything specifically you were keying in on that maybe needs some improvement before get into Louisville and tougher conference play?
Well, yeah, everything would be the answer to that question. I think our middles in front of the setter are pretty good. We have to, and Hannah's really good behind. But Raven's got to continue to improve. I think that setting made a big jump in the last week and a half, in my opinion, but it has to continue to get better. The best thing we're doing right now is handling the ball. Our four defensive players and passers are just doing a terrific job. And that's allowed us to be sitting in this situation we're in right now. It's been Skimmerhorn and Hornung and Brown and Torrance. They've just been so good that it's made it easier for our setters to make that transition from not playing much to being able to deliver a good ball and have a good offense. I think the connection with the setter and all of our hitters needs to improve, but that's something that's going to take time because it's a new situation for them. I think defensively we've been pretty good, but when you play a team like Louisville, we're going to have to really be able to defend their outside hitters. So that's something I think we can do better than what we have. We're going to have to do better, and that will carry over into Big Ten play as well. But that's, we're going to work on everything, but those are a couple of things that I kind of identified after watching some tape.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah.
All right, that's it.
Okay, guys. Thank you. Appreciate it.